Well, Trump is still 62 days out from office to be number 45 president of the United States of America. Trump to be POTUS. And already Ford's announced it's not leaving with that SUV plant from Kentucky. Other major plants, I've got a list here announcing they're going to stay in areas like Ohio and Texas as well. And Apple's announcing that they think they're going to move one of their big plants making iPhones and other Apple products back to the United States. They haven't manufactured here in 20 years. And he's not even in office yet. He has now announced that his attorney general, should he be confirmed by the Senate, Senator Jeff Sessions, that's going to happen. Very honorable man, could not think of a better choice. That guy does not deal in politics when it comes to justice. People better look out. And let me tell you, Hillary is going to get in big trouble. Jeff Sessions never compromises, never backs down, and is one of the best people we've got in our government. So Trump is really delivering. Stephen Bannon at the head of the entire strategy operation could not be a better choice. That's why they're calling him a racist and never showing any proof. They call James OKeefe a racist. They call me one with no proof. It doesn't work anymore, but they've only tripled down is the term, or maybe quintupled down with all their lies and disinfo. What's going to happen? James OKeefe joins us. He said, well, sure, I'll come on, but why? Well, I want a victory lap. But also where you see all this going with your expertise, other goodies that are going to be coming out, because obviously we've got to hold our foot to the neck of these people. We may be a little bit euphoric. We're having some victories right now, but you better believe they're coming back with an incredible vengeance. So the man that heads up Project Veritas, one of the undoubted MVPs, and look, it's not about credit, but we have to single out who is the most effective, and it is James OKeefe. It is Julian Assange. It is Matt Drudge. It is Donald Trump. I mean, these are the type of folks we need to celebrate, but also the listeners of this broadcast and my crew and just everybody in the Liberty Movement. It isn't about credit, but, man, we've been the underdog for a long time, and Trump is really starting to deliver. Now, I haven't talked to OKeefe since before the election. I don't know his view on all this. We'll see if he concurs or what he adds. ProjectVeritas.com. James, congratulations, my friend.
Hey, Alex, thank you so much. And just by way of introduction, I've had a chest cold the last few days. After a week of adrenaline,
I understand.
And unbelievable, amazing highs and amazing lows. I'm recovering here physically, so I apologize. I'm not 100%, but it's so great to be with you.
Well, absolutely, my friend. I know I was exhausted for 3 or 4 days as well, kind of like dizzy, actually, but I'm now back to normal. Hopefully you get back soon. Where do you want to start?
Well, I think that one of the things that Roger Stone and I discussed last time I was with you was the tipping point that we thought that we had not reached as a country. I think we are now beyond the tipping point where social media and the power of independent media is greater. It is greater than the mainstream media. We have reached that tipping point. We are at a point where the power of the media is now not what it once was. When I was at that election night, Hilton Hotel, and I saw the big lights and the hundreds of journalists, I could see them physically sobbing. I could see them crying because they had now realized that they had lost their power. And it was a very moving moment for me because I've spent the last 8 years of my life fighting these people tooth and nail, persevering over their firewall, breaking news on YouTube, even while these companies like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter try to shut us down. And to reach that climax where now we are now more powerful than they are, it was a very touching moment for me, and it showed that the whole game has now changed. We are living in a new world where we are now more powerful than they are. And that's just the bottom line.
And Trump has to realize that. And we did this, I'm not just saying it's true, from the grassroots because we really believed in America, in free market, in the Second Amendment. They were trying to dominate us, and studying history and studying past wars, and this is a new type of war, an information war predominantly. You never know when an evil empire is about to break up. You never know when it's about to fall. It's going to tell you to the minute that the evil king kills over that it's victorious, it's all-powerful, it's unstoppable. And This system was so delusional, they were believing their own BS. I mean, listen, when Infowars.com, which is most people are obsessed with their site, it's a small part of our overall reach, 23% according to the Google algorithm on a daily basis. It's 19%, 25%, but average is 23% year end. When we're numbered 124 on the web, folks. We have reached 5 billion people on YouTube alone. And this just shows what Infowars is doing, and we're not even getting started. Imagine how much that freaks them out, James O'Keefe.
Yeah, I mean, when we were I was on, I think, Tommy Loren's Facebook live stream, and there were like 1.7 million people watching it. And CNN's Brian Stelter, this is a Reliable Sources, the show is called Reliable Sources. He tweets at me and he goes, you know, James, we got 1.2 million viewers on CNN. And I said, Brian, we got 20 million views on our YouTube channel in the last week. We got 100 million Twitter impressions. You know, nobody watches CNN.
They're delusional.
Except when you're in airports. They are delusional. They're losing. The bottom line is, Alex, is they realize they are losing their power. That's it. They're losing their control over the voter. And they're losing their power over the people, and they panic, and they get emotional. And when they get emotional, they make mistakes. And then when they make mistakes, they lose their credibility, and the audience, that is the American people, leave them, and they go to organizations like Infowars and organizations like Project Veritas, and they go to where the action is, the excitement.
And by the way, there's only 6 or 7 networks and systems. Their audience is so tiny now, even Fox is nothing compared to the independent media, but they're still so delusional. And nothing against Fox, but they just don't know it yet. And we're not bragging. We're just explaining, folks, the new media landscape for everybody. There are high school people and college kids that are getting 100 million views a month. There are hundreds of prominent people that have just suddenly popped up that are huge. I'm excited to see that. I mean, what's scary to the establishment is we're not just getting the regular news audience. The Liberty Movement has expanded to where this is almost like a blood sport or a new form of entertainment. We're making politics fun again, and I think that's where they lost the paradigm, is the memes and all of it is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, when we were, Alex, before after I spoke with you last time on Election Day, we were in Philadelphia exposing voter fraud, and it was easy to expose. I mean, we released videos on Election Day in Philadelphia where we would go to the poll site and, you know, with a hidden camera, we'd go up to the supervisor, the judge, and they told us who to vote for. That's a crime. You can't do that. They were saying, vote for Hillary. I mean, these are election judges. These are supposed to be making sure that these elections are conducted fairly and without bias. And as I was in my car driving around Philadelphia with my team, going, frankly, some of us were risking our safety to do this because these were in neighborhoods where people were intimidating people. They wouldn't let you in as a journalist. We were going around. I was tweeting, live streaming that I was doing this. I was monitoring fraud. And these journalists were attacking, viciously attacking us, calling us racist. And I mean, every one of them. And it dawned upon me when I was in my car driving around North Philadelphia there, getting attacked. I realized, you know what? These guys are so desperate. They're such losers. They're stuck in their cubicles wherever they are in their skyscrapers, attacking citizen journalists for doing the jobs themselves. It dawned upon me that this is now a turning point, that I'm out there, where we are out there collectively, doing their jobs for them while they condemn us. And it's that realization. I don't know what else to put it. It's a tipping point. It's a shift in the power and perception of media.
And I totally agree.
And that is now gone.
James O'Keefe, here's the next question then. How do they strike back? Well, we've seen them with this delisting with Google Chrome and Quantcast, but one day after they did it, they relisted InfoWars and Breitbart and others because everybody looked at it and said, some professor just declares she's God and says what's real and what isn't after this entire mainstream media got caught faking polls, faking election results, giving the questions to Hillary, fake interviews. I mean, I've looked for names for the mainstream media all these years. They finally gave it to us. They're the fake media. By them calling us that, I finally realized that's really their name, don't you think?
I think you have to, yeah, that's exactly right. I'm looking at the same thing. That fake list of fake news sites where we made a list of fake news
Oh, you were
sites
on there too, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, this is what I would say to that. Judge a man by his work product, not by the name you used to describe him. They're obsessed with titles and what do you call you're an activist or a criminal or a fake or a hoaxer? Judge someone by what they do. Judge Veritas, our organization, by what we expose.
You guys are so clean and so good and so hardworking and so dedicated and so classical journalism, and then they go, oh, he's a convicted criminal, not saying you went in a federal building, a public building, to show that their phones weren't broken. And I mean, oh my God, oh my gosh. I mean,
Bob Creamer was actually a convicted felon. That's even Anderson Cooper on CNN struggled with attacking me for being a criminal because they're trying to defend actual convicted felons that we're exposing. But this is the bottom line. Your question was, where do we go from here? And my answer is, you do the job for them. You do their work. You do the investigative reporting. You expose the corrupt administrative agencies. By the way, our government mostly consists of administrative agencies who are not even accountable to the executive branch. This is the permanent sort of infrastructure that exists of our federal government. You do the job. You report the abuses of power. You expose the corruption. These protests that are happening for the inauguration day. Veritas has people investigating and embedded in those. You expose what's actually happening, and people, that is the American people, will naturally go to where the actual journalism
exactly
is.
so it's a total tipping point, except for the minority of people who are white, black, Hispanic, you name it, that really are anti-white, racist, butthurt weirdos like de Blasio with his crew. You know de Blasio, they're in New York, the mayor. Mikhail Thielen has an article. Spokesman says sign was meant to protest white supremacy. It says F whiteness, Black Lives Matter, with a bunch of weirdo, straight-laced, chicken-necked, neurotic white liberals running around bashing white people when the average white person I know is just a, regular schmo like anybody else. I mean, what is this? It's really, these are sickening people. These are racist. And I'm so tired of them.
Well, we did a story on election day, day before election day. We went in Mayor de Blasio's district, New York City. We went into the poll location of Huma Abedin, and we got offered her ballot. They handed us Huma Abedin's ballot. We had full burqa on because the elections commissioner, we did another video where the elections commissioner was saying that anybody can vote without an ID. There's so much fraud. We bust people around. So Mayor de Blasio fired, this is yesterday, fired this elections commissioner we caught on tape for telling the truth. I think he should have been given a medal. He was being honest. He was forthcoming about the fraud. He was describing that they go to places like certain neighborhoods like Chinatown and they, quote, bust people around to vote. They put them in a bus and they go from poll site to poll site. So Mayor de Blasio fired the elections commissioner for revealing the fraud. This is how corrupt Mayor de Blasio is. But listen, people, I can't say it enough. Just citizens have to do their job. Places like Reddit were crowdsourcing investigative journalism out during the last few weeks. They were looking through FEC disbursement forms. They were giving that to us while these journalists in their ivory towers were condemning us. There's that picture right now. De Blasio demands resignation of elections official.
Who actually told the truth and said it's wrong that there's fraud and he wants to stop it. And then he gets, how about de Blasio resigns? So let's expand on this briefly. I forgot that. It's beautiful how Reddit and all these other big sites are crowdsourcing the WikiLeaks, crowdsourcing election research. This is HUMET. This is the people making it a game to fight corruption. That's what they've always been afraid of. It's fun. It's an animating contest that Jefferson talked about.
Yeah, and one of the most enlightening moments of the last 45 days when I was breaking these stories, and the Washington Post tweeted at me and said, "Why don't you actually show me a video of Obama meeting with these people? Show me the video." And I tweeted back, I said, "Hey, Dave, shouldn't that be your job? Isn't that your job at the Washington Post?" But they're totally reactive. You couldn't even break a Woodward and Bernstein style story these days.
They're a bunch of white shoe, arrogant Harvard snobs. They push classism and racism because that's who they are. We're just gutter-brawling, blue-collar patriots, and we're going to kick their ass every time.
Yes, and they're reactive, and they are reactive to what we do. That's the beautiful part. They're they're now talking about what we are talking about. We set the narrative now. Yes, they criticize us, they call us names, but they can name call all they want. Judge a man by his work.
Oh, don't you
Judge
love
a
how
man
they
by
call
his.
us fake news and they call us alt-right? Exactly. We're not going by their labels anymore.
Well, they said to Steve Bannon, they said they called him a white supremacist. I mean, I know Steve Bannon. I've worked for Steve Bannon. He's not a white supremacist. He's a hardworking, he's a good businessman. Everyone at Breitbart News is they're decent people. They have their views. But you know what I say? I say if the media wants to hashtag stop Bannon, they should endorse him because at this point, the people are going to do the exact opposite of whatever the media tells them to do.
Bannon is a trailblazer. Is a trailblazer and took Breitbart in the right direction and helped win this election. Again, America is about betting on the people that are trailblazers who do the right thing and win. These are winners we're talking about.
Absolutely. And I think the media, people are now going to do the exact opposite of what the media tells them to do. The vaulted, as Brit Hume said, the vaulted power of the media is not what it once was. Their entire business model is based on credibility and and relevance. And when they become irrelevant, when people don't trust them anymore, we're living in a new world. It really is historical. Alex, I can't emphasize just how big, how game changing, how transformative the last couple weeks are. And we are the tip of the spear, buddy. We are it. I mean, we are at the front lines of democracy, of information. And
We're on the
we have a
front lines of the rebirth of our constitutional republic and the new renaissance, my friend.
And when we get thousands of people every single day, and that is true, today we got hundreds of tips, and people say, "Come to my school board, come to my town council, come to my state office, and expose this."
And the secret is you're going to expose a lot of it, but they're all copying Veritas in your book that lays out how to do it and how to do it legally and lawfully as investigative journalists. They're now all starting their own little town watches. And again, the return of America's here. It is horrifying them.
Yes, it is. It is horrifying them, but we have a responsibility to build a institution. You're right. People are going to do it on their own, and that's important. We're going to, as long as it's legal.
No, I'm saying they should go to you as well, but I'm just saying don't wait for orders from headquarters, folks. Just do it.
Yeah, just go out and like Reddit. The Reddit community is a great example. These are people who crowdsourced it out. They found Zulema Rodriguez was the protester who shut down the highway in Arizona during that video series. People found little video clips of her, and they said, that's her, that's Zulema. She was paid by Hillary Clinton. So people are doing it themselves, and it is a beautiful thing to watch. The normal people doing the job of NBC News while NBC News puts insurmountable obstacles in their path. It is moving to watch.
Wow.
The fact that this is happening.
James, I've been interviewing you probably 8, 9, 10 years, whatever it is, and I tell you, you were on fire. I mean, even though you're under the weather, I've never heard you so excited. Is there a feeling, not of completion, but of satisfaction that, wow, we are on the right side of history. There is a God. We've had this great victory. We've got more work to do, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes the good guys win.
Yeah, I don't know if I myself am Catholic, so I'm a man of God. I believe that there is, it's satisfying. It's redemption. Being there that night, seeing this happen, I think we're given another chance as a country to, Benjamin Franklin said it's a republic if you can keep it.
You can feel
right?
the providence,
So,
can't you, in the air?
yeah, I can feel the providence because there are too many. This investigation took us a year to do. Too many things could have gone wrong. It was so risky. It was so dangerous. I mean, we were invited to the White House. We could not go.
It's the equivalent, to use a cheesy analogy, of like you did 5 Death Star runs and every time you blew it up. I mean, it was just all was incredible.
Yes, and I think so. I think we've been given another chance. This is we have an opportunity here to reverse course, and I think I think the solutions are beyond the legislative process. I think it's going to require normal people doing extraordinary things, and to see the hundreds of thousands of people in this country take it upon themselves to do the job of the media, that to me shows us that there's much hope for the future. So it's redemption,
Sure.
it's satisfaction, and it's hope.
And it's the fact that the battle's not won, even though we're starting to turn the tide. You know, I forget who said it. We can look it up, but they say that it is great times. It is tumultuous times. It is It is extraordinary times that make extraordinary men and women, and I think that's what we've seen here.
Absolutely.
In closing, Trump, Ford coming back, Apple saying they're going to look at coming back. I mean, it's crazy. I'm really worried they're going to try to kill him.
Well, I mean, if there's ever a plot to do anything like that, my hope is that our cameras would be infiltrating conversations to that effect. And
hell, they're all over the news saying kill him. Why aren't these people being arrested saying kill Trump? I'm going to kill Trump. You know,
actually, they're on Twitter saying they want to kill both you, me, and Trump, and Jack Dorsey is not kicking them off. Recall that Jack Dorsey is now Twitter is now removing people on Twitter. They removed me. They reinstated me. But
James Wood has left Twitter.
What's that?
James Wood has had to leave Twitter. We also have Milo has been banned. I mean, it's horrible.
There's a number of people that have left Twitter. They tried to ban me, but then 30,000 people sent emails to Twitter and they reinstated. So, look, I can't reveal everything we're doing, but we're going to be on the front lines exposing all of this. And if there ever was a conspiracy to commit fraud, my hope is that our people would be embedded in there to catch them in the act. That's all I can say.
Yeah, if you're working at a big corporation and you see them colluding to suppress free speech and racketeer, record it. Send it to InfoWars. Send it to James O'Keefe. Put it out. James O'Keefe, thanks for spending time with it. ProjectVeritas.com. You're amazing. Your whole crew's amazing. And I want to just say, as one American, as one Christian to another, I salute you. And it's great in this short life to be associated with folks like you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Alex.
We're going to come back with Roger Stone, and I'll probably open the phones up as well. I just, wow. This is really good. This is really good stuff's happening. My fellow InfoWarriors, I am very excited to be able to announce to you the introduction at InfoWarsLife.com of a new way to save time and money when you stock up on InfoWars Life formulations like Survival Shield X2 and Super Male Vitality. Just go to InfoWarsLife.com today, select your favorite product, click on Auto Ship before adding to cart, and choose how often you want us to send you another order. Every time you choose Auto Ship at InfoWarsLife.com, you get 10% off and you won't have to worry about running out and having to reorder next time. And of course, you can cancel with one click anytime. As you know, I'm all about the idea of a 360 win. And the new auto ship feature at InfoWarsLife.com is a sure win for everybody. A win for liberty, a win for health, and a win when it comes to big savings. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today and save 10% on your next InfoWars Life order by selecting auto ship at checkout. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.